Why am I reviewing Incredible Hulk with a Captain America shirt? Because this Captain America movie was also an Incredible Hulk sequel. The Incredible Hulk was released in 2008, directed by Louis Leterrier, starring Edward Norton, Liv Tyler, Tim Roth, and William Hurt. And all these years later, this is still a solid MCU movie. It's not one of the best, like a lot of people say, in my opinion at least. But, yeah, I am going to be reviewing Brave New World once I review every movie that I feel is the most relevant to it, minus the Avengers movies, because if I review the Avengers movies, I got to review the Iron Man movies and everything included those. I'm just going to review the stuff that Sam appears in and the stuff that ties into the new Captain America. So, let's go ahead and start this review off with the good. And I still love this movie. First of all, I really love Edward Norton as Bruce Banner / Hulk. He still remains my favorite portrayal of Hulk. I love what Edward Norton does with this character. Though I will admit, I do have a soft spot for Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner. Not as Hulk, as Bruce Banner. But I still really like what Edward Norton did with Bruce Banner. I thought that he brought that meek personality to Bruce Banner really well. And when he's Hulk, he's just an absolute beast. This is probably my favorite version of Hulk. If we had Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner and Edward Norton's Hulk, it would be the absolute most perfect portrayal of Hulk / Bruce Banner ever. But alas, it did not work out. So I still love what Edward Norton does with Bruce Banner and Hulk. Favorite Hulk of all time. Liv Tyler is pretty good here as Betty. She's not great, but she's good. I love her chemistry with Edward Norton. I think that they play off of each other very, very well. I enjoy what she brings to the role. Then we have the villains of this movie. First, you have William Hurt as General Ross, or also Betty's father. I love what William Hurt does with this character. Now, there was a Hulk movie in, 2003? Sam Elliott played General Ross in that movie. And Sam Elliott was pretty good, but William Hurt absolutely owns this role. I love everything about this portrayal of the character. He's mean, he's vicious, he's cruel. I love William Hurt as General Ross in this movie. I love his constant pursuit of Bruce Banner, trying to capture the Hulk. Really love what he does. And then the other villain in this movie is Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky, who eventually becomes the Abomination in the third act. And I thought that Tim Roth was really great here. Now, I don't like what they did with Abomination later on in the MCU, but I'm not here to talk about that right now. I really love Tim Roth in this movie. He's a badass. He's very unorthodox in his ways of trying to capture the Hulk, which really makes him mix well with General Ross. They're both very unorthodox. I loved how vicious he was, and especially when he becomes Abomination. The Abomination fight is one of the absolute best movies. The story here is pretty basic for a Hulk movie, yes, but I still really love what they did with this movie. It starts with Bruce Banner in hiding. He's off the grid. Nobody can find him. And then, surprise, an accident happens at work. Stan Lee gets poisoned with gamma blood, and now they know where he is. Now he's on the run again. I thought that it was a really good cat and mouse scenario between Hulk and the government. I love the action scenes here. This was back when the MCU was not afraid to get mean. And I mean, this movie is mean in a lot of scenes. Because, there's a scene where Emil Blonsky is facing down the Hulk, and the Hulk kicks him into a tree, shatters every bone in his body. I mean, that is mean MCU. I miss the MCU of the old days. Honestly, I do. Also, the final battle with Abomination is just absolutely fantastic. Just two big, hulking brutes using cars as boxing gloves, just duking it out in the streets. Absolutely fantastic scene. Also, we get that setup for the leader that doesn't get paid off for almost 20 years, but hey, what do you know? Also, the score here, pretty great. The ending is really good as well. I love how they wrap everything up in this movie to set up for the Avengers. Really, really great stuff in this movie. The score is great. The editing, great. Pacing. That leads us into the bad. So let's go on to the bad. There's a few things in this movie that I just was not a fan of. And first of all, it was the pacing. When the Hulk is on screen, this movie is absolutely badass. It rules. But when the Hulk is no longer on screen, after we get the Hulk reveal, this movie drags. Not as bad as some people might say it does, but it's still a drag to get through some of the non-Hulk sequences. Also, I was not a fan of, who is it, Ty Burrell. I really did not like his character at all. And then also, I feel like they took a little too long to get to the Abomination stuff in the third act. But that's about all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I think this is still a really solid MCU movie. It's not one of my absolute favorites, but I'm not going to complain when I rewatch this movie when I do the MCU rewatch. So, that being said, The Incredible Hulk is a solid Hulk adventure. I have fun with it, and I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So that was my thoughts for The Incredible Hulk. What did you think about this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you've seen it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.